Hey, back with another lick of the week. What I'm going to do in this video is kind of expand on the chromatics for the C scale and make some licks up with these ideas. The last video we just touched on finding as many pathways as we could for the C major scale between frets 1 and 5. And what I want to do now is add the chromatic notes that we found in the previous video and combine them to make licks, just like we've done for the G primer. So let's start off with some basic concepts. What I'm going to do is kind of pivot around some of the scale notes, and by pivot I mean I'm going to use a scale tone, in this case like an E note, on the 4-string 2nd fret, and I'm going to pivot on it. What I'm doing is backing up to this chromatic note. I'm going from E to E flat. Right, now that sounds like a simple idea, but the trick is to weave that into the context of a lick. So let me see if I can conjugate a lick here. Now what's happening here is I only have one note that's outside the scale. E flat, E flat, E, C, A, G, F, E. So adding one chromatic note kind of greases the lick up. Again, you may have to play around with these ideas to make them fit the context of a song. You know, if you notice there, I had to change the timing of a lick to make it fit in the context of that tune. But that's what's cool about playing any lick in a song, is you have to adapt it to the melody you're working with. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But hey, it's just an idea, right? All right. Now, what if we pivoted on a different note? What if we used the B flat note, which in the context of a C scale gives you a blues tone, right? Because our C7 chord, right, has a B flat note in it. What if we use that note right? How many scale notes do I have going here? I have one outside the box, which is the B flat, A, B flat, C, B flat, A, G, F, E. Hey, I only have one note that's outside the scale. And you can modify it. I can eliminate the B flat note coming back the other direction. So what if I try to use that in the context of, say, John Hardy? There again, you may like that, you may not. But it's just a lick, right? And so what hopefully is going to happen with this, just like we have with all the other videos, is these ideas are going to kind of force you to think in a new direction with the single string style, and you'll come up with licks that work a lot better than that. These are just ideas. So there's a lot of ways you can weave these licks into the context of tunes. I'm not going to explore too much placing each lick in a tune, because the primary purpose of these primer videos is just to expose you to this single string stuff and get your fingers used to doing this, and how you use them really going to be up to you. So instead of me just giving you songs to plug these licks into, I may do that just as a short example like for John Hardy. And sometimes they may work, sometimes they may not sound so great, but the main purpose here is just to get you doing this. And hopefully you'll find better ways to use it than I did here. So we've got a chromatic here mixed in with the scale. We have a B flat, which is the chromatic note here, which gives us a different version. All right, now what if we went to the 1st string? That's pretty nice. So So we have a E, flat, E, F, E, flat, then D, then a C. So we have all the notes on the first string. And I could throw an open B in there, which you just heard. Or I could leave that B out. Okay, there I'll try to use the first lick we tried, but instead of playing a pivot, I tried to just come in it from a mode from the D note. So I actually went from this lick and then kind of finished it out with that passing note. The F acts as a passing note there to get me back to the E note. But everything I played was a scale note except for the E flat here, the E flat here, and then the second lick we did, I only had one chromatic note. Alright, let's move up to the 5th fret and let's mess with some chromatic intervals here for C. Is starting with the G note, which belongs to the scale. Alright, F sharp, which is not in the scale, so there's your chromatic. G, F sharp, F, which is in the scale. Alright, then I'm going over here to a D sharp, which is not a part of the scale. Winding up on an E note, 2nd fret at 5. So I have 2 chromatic intervals in this idea. Alright. Then I'm going to drop down to this D note on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Then I'm going to wind up on a C note at the 5th fret of the 3rd, because again I'm trying to stay in this area and not go any higher than the 5th fret. Then I'm going to this B note, 3rd string, 4th fret, scale note, back to the C. Right? What about on the 4th string? Well, I can walk from the G note on the 4th string down, so I'm chromatically going G, F sharp, just like I did on the 1st string. I'm repeating it basically on, so because both of these strings are D, right? That means I can play the same licks. But now I don't have any other strings to go over to. Stay on the 4th string, and that could be a simple bass walk lick. So these are just a few easy examples, and again, the licks as I'm playing them may not even appeal to you, but the point of it is for you to take the idea and run with it and see how many different derivations you can come up with. And I'm sure if you play around with this, you're going to come up with some great ideas for single string licks. And I'm just touching on this is just a hint of what you can do. There are so many ideas that you could do single string wise in frets 1 to 5 that I wouldn't have enough time to do the videos for it. So play around, maybe starting with a simple idea like we did, using just 1 chromatic interval, then graduate up to maybe having 2 or even 3, maybe even 4, I don't know. Depends on your imagination. And remember to use pull-offs, slides, chokes. You know, just get really creative with it. And remember to stay in frets 1 to 5, and if you can, resolve it to the C chord somehow, and then maybe try to use some of these ideas that you come up with for some songs. So think about some songs that you might, want to use this in, and try to find a practical application for it. That's it for this week. See you in the next video. Thanks.